Hello, welcome to the literature module. So we are super excited, obviously, for one of my absolute favorite books. Actually, there's 7, but we're just doing The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. So a literature module, 16 classes. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, if you've ever read it before, does not have 16 chapters. It has 17. So this was a bit of a crunch for me. So we are actually doing a 17-week module for it, but the 2 shortest chapters, chapter 5 and 6, I put together in your syllabus. So in the syllabus, if you don't know how this works, it's a 16-week syllabus. So it has the name of the class. It has then the video for each class, or 2 videos for class 5 and 6. So in that video is going to be the key for your literature module. In that video, it has the chapter in Narnia read. It was not me who did it. There was this other amazing teacher who read Narnia to her class and filmed it. So she goes line by line with a piece of paper. So you get to see line by line so you can read it on the screen with her. So obviously you read through it. That's the first part of the video. The second part of the video is radio theater. I absolutely love radio theater. Some people are more oratory than visual. You'll find the different learners in your classroom. The auditory learners will love the reading through it with the teacher. The kinesthetic learners, sorry, you're gonna have a hard time keeping them in their seat. I would definitely suggest getting them a book of their own, so they can follow in their own book and manipulate it and hold it themselves to follow along. Your auditory readers are gonna love the radio theater. It's absolutely beautiful. I suggest when you listen to the radio theater, if you have copies of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, you look at it because you can see how they use the specific script of the original Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, but then other things then they changed or they left out because it's in the sounds. So it's really neat to see how it was changed from a book to a radio theater. The last section of each video is the old BBC version of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, not the most recent Disney Walden Media version of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. So it is an old copy that was on YouTube, but I divided it up by chapter. So you are going to read one chapter, listen to that same chapter, and then watch that chapter. So it's so cool because your beginners that are just learning English are going to be able to have this 3 different ways and hopefully sink in one way or the other, depending on the student's intake and how they learn and receive. But by the end of class, have gone through that chapter 3 different times. And so I found I'm actually presenting this for my 6th and 7th graders for English as a foreign language, not English as a second language. So they, many of them are very new to English. So what we are going to do is, while we are watching the video, which will take most of our class time, most of the videos are 25 to 30 minutes, so it will take most of your class time with the video. So they're going to watch it, and while they are watching, they have been given something to draw from there. So maybe for the chapter where Lucy meets Mr. Tumnus, maybe they draw Mr. Tumnus, or they draw his home, or whatever. They draw Father Christmas when they meet Father Christmas. So they, anyways, they have something specific to draw from that chapter. And then at the end of the chapter, our big thing that we're focusing on in literature is summary. Figuring out how to take all that information they got 3 times and summarize it. So that is definitely a really important skill, especially learning in another language to do. So they are going to then identify the 3 to 5 points that explain that chapter and summarize that chapter. So online, I really, really hope they watch the whole video. We're gonna see how online classes go with literature, and then they will send me a picture of what they have drawn and their points of summary for each class. We also have questions for each chapter. So the PDF section, super helpful. If you would like to use that, those can be answered orally if you're in person. Those can be typed up or however you want them sent to you. Each chapter has a list of questions to make sure they understand the chapter. And then it says choose one. And it will have, for every chapter, it will have one thing that you could write to expand upon, like an essay about something from that chapter, or something to speak, present. So that could be sending you an audio message, that could be presenting in front of the class, your opinion, a conversation, and then something to draw. So we're at the beginning level, so we're having them draw and then summarize as our focus. But definitely choose a focus for your literature module. What is it that you really would like the kids to get out of this? And so after 16 weeks, we're going to have each one of the kids, I'll staple it together or put it in a nice folder. They're going to have a picture from each chapter and the bullet points of what happened in those chapters. So I think that's a really great report. You can add a test at the end, since there is so many. If you're probably going to have to add weeks to your module to add a test. We just didn't have time to add a test in 16 weeks. But feel free to do that. There is a bunch of online resources. I'll also give you a PDF of some coloring pages. So yeah, I have a couple of extra advanced students who speak English fluently. What am I going to do with them during this module? Well, obviously, one chapter for a 6th grader who speaks English fluently is a little small. So what I have allowed for them to do is to choose a different book about the same level or harder. Lord of the Rings are great, different classics. I would definitely go with different classics. But basically saying, hey, read for 30 minutes or around 30 minutes ending on a chapter. And then for each chapter, write a 3 to 5 point summary and draw one picture to basically for overall of what happened in those chapters that you read today. So I think of a 50-minute class time. My video is going to be, or reading, is going to be about 30 minutes, and then I've got about 20 minutes to do questions or summaries, or finish their drawing, their pictures. I found that especially drawing for newer English speakers is a great way for them to be able to express themselves when they feel limited in other ways. You can find a lot of different stuff for The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe literature module. Hope you have a great success with it.